Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new F125 League Racing video. And today we're back with PHL, around one of my favorite tracks, Jeddah. And as you can see, we're in different cars. Again, we are in multiplayer cars, just for qualifying though, not for the race. Reasoning for that is that some drivers believe the cars are not equal even when they're set to equal. Personally, I think it's not true, but whatever, it won't make much of a difference anyway if we believe it's not true. So yeah, qualifying in multiplayer cars and then back to the real cars for the race, just to avoid the whole pit stop mess. As you can see in the standings, we are first by 7 points after taking our last win in Spa, and yeah, we're quite far ahead of Barry, who's in P3 right there. So quite a bit of a margin to him. But yeah, on to qualifying we go. Qualifying not hugely important around here. But still, it would be nice to obviously qualify well. Although, as I say, qualifying is not that important on this game. Slipstream doesn't exist and Dirty Air very much does. Although in real life, on low downforce tracks, it seems to be similar. But then when you go to high downforce tracks, there seems to be a lot of slipstream and similar levels of dirty air. It's quite weird. I guess it has to do with the ground effect cars. Yeah, just creating relatively low amounts of drag, especially on low downforce tracks. So yeah, it's interesting to see that. I think we really saw that on Baku last weekend or yesterday, where it's a real struggle to overtake people. But then if you look at some more high downforce tracks, it looked a bit better to overtake. So yeah, quite interesting to see. Nonetheless, in games, you have the advantage to relatively easily change that in the coding. And yeah, that way you can make it better. So that's the advantage you have in sim racing. But enough talk. Back to our Q1. This is our first lap in Q1. Purple middle sector. Decent-ish lap, not great, not bad. But we come across the line to set a 125.736, 700 away from Otis, who was in P1. Yeah, not too shabby. Made it into Q2 on a single set of tires. This is used tires, and as you can see, we're half a second away from Otis, and I was very confused at the time how that was possible. I thought maybe by accident he had put on new tires, but apparently he just got a fat slipstream. And yeah, he got a qualifying ban for that for the next round, which I was quite surprised about, because it's not a critical run. It would have not made a difference, I think so, if he didn't have slipstream or not. But whatever. Apparently in PSGL E Series, which is the team championship of PSGL, which I don't compete in, it's the same. So yeah, interesting. But Q2, as you can see, after our first new tire run, we're only P6. So we have to get on with it here on our last run in Q2. Otherwise, we're going to be out after this run, because we're definitely going to have to improve on our lap before, which wasn't that good, wasn't that clean. So we need to improve here. The pressure's on. We do have 2 new sets of tires in Q3, but we need to get there first. So 1.2 tons up. That might be enough to make it into Q2. If anything, I think that will be enough to make it into Q2, but we gotta keep gaining, and that's another nice gain. 700ths gain to our delta. And I think if we keep this delta up, we're gonna be near P1 for sure. Into the final sector we go, and that's a clean turn in, very clean. No risk taken, but full push into the final corner. We're down to P8, with still a lot of people having to finish the laps. Actually, as we go into the final corner, I think we might already be safe, but I decided to finish the lap anyway, just to be safe. We've got 2 new sets of tires anyway for Q3. So up to P2 we go 6 thousandths behind Nicolas Longuet there. And now to the important session.
Ah, man, it's a podium, but it's not where we needed you to be.
Yeah, ignore that. I don't know what on earth was going on there, but don't think we do podiums in qualifying. So Q2, P2 right there. Alfie Butcher, Ulas Ozilderim, Joris Kroes and Jake Benham and Duncan Hovland out in Q2 with the Alpine boys right behind me in P3 and P4. So pace is looking good, but Jeddah is one of the most difficult circuits to hook up a lap. You have to get so close to the barriers to carry a bit more extra speed and to open up the corner after a lot of fast chicanes, which means if you miss the apex of one, you will sacrifice the exit on the other. And that makes it incredibly tough to nail. If you turn in slightly too early, you're obviously hitting the wall. Banker lap then. Ooh, into sector 3 we go, and that was on the edge, rare sliding around there at one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Purple first sector. And yeah, we're not the only one that has new tires for this first run, but yeah, not everyone has new tires. So up to the line we go, DRS open. A little bit didn't open. Fucking bullshit. And yeah, DRS didn't open. Sometimes button doesn't work perfectly, but it is what it is. Onto our final run in Q3. This is the one where we're fighting for pole position, and it gives us an extra point as well if you get pole position. But straight away out of turn 2 we have a huge moment. We did carry a lot of speed though, so we didn't lose a lot of time. That left-hander was near millimeter perfect, and now through the rest of sector 1 we go. This should be all easy flat out, but you can gain so much time by hugging the inside wall on the right there. And you can see we've gained 3, 4, maybe 500 just through a flat out section. 200s down on Danny Bresnay though, who has already crossed the line to take provisional pole position. We're 4 500s up as we head into the next right-hander. Again, a very high-speed chicane, or a very fast chicane where you have to hug the inside, and that one was not quite there. Not perfect, but we didn't lose a lot of time. Maximum 2-300 loss. Into the final sector we go then, and this is where we can gain time. We had the slide before through here, and it's inch perfect again through the fast left-hander. 8-900s up, but we need more if we want to fight for pole position. Remember, we did a 0.38. Barry Borman currently on pole position with a 2.6, so we need 1.2 tenths improvement. We send it into the last corner, and it is a good exit. 1.200s up. Is it gonna be enough for pole position though? Across the line we go, and it is.
Yes,
come on.
We got the win, and you did it cleanly. Incredible.
Oh, hang on.
By 1.300 of a second, we snatch away pole position right at the end. Yeah, very, very close on such a difficult circuit. Top 10 covered by 1.4 tenths on a circuit like this is a little bit crazy. But yeah, we needed that last lap. Otherwise, we would have been down in P8 or P7, I think. So crucial to get that last lap in there. And yeah, hook it up. First pole position since PSGL Qatar last year. So yeah. Next up is going to be Qatar as well. So let's hope we can recreate that. Because Qatar on this game, I think, might be really, really difficult to overtake. We're going to have to wait and see. So far on this game, we've seen some tracks where we expected overtaking to be really hard, not to be too bad. And then some where we thought, you know, it's going to be relatively easy. It was really hard. So it's a little bit difficult, but yeah. Onto the race we go then. Starting P1 on the mediums, just like the rest in the top 5. And yeah, me and Barry are not going to take too much risk here in turn 1. We're going to leave lots of space on the inside. Because yeah, there's no point in risking anything here. Being in P1 or P2 will not matter until the last 2-3 laps. So we're more than happy with P1 or P2. And yeah, we're just going to be not taking too much risk with track limits, walls. Very easy to pick up some front wing damage on this track. we're just going to be taking it relatively calmly in these opening few laps. Save a little bit of tires, so we can perhaps go for a usual overcut. We're going to have to wait and see. Two-stopper could be a thing in this race. We are not aiming for it, but it could be a possibility if someone really wants to risk a big strategy. But yeah, again, we are not gonna try that. We are on the one stop. So really struggled in that fast left-hander pretty much all race. So yeah, not sure why that was, but it is what it is. Really just struggled to get a front end and lacking a lot of front end. So into the final corner we go to finish off the opening lap.
So top 6 or medium, 12 medium runners in total.
Yeah, just Berezny on the hards, right? And then a few more medium. And yeah, onto lap 3 we go. You can see Barry quite close, and I think he wanted to get past here. Decided not to fight it too hard. I used a bit of my battery just to pull us along a little bit more, but yeah, again, he's going to get past here into turn 1, so we can recharge our battery a little bit. And yeah, maybe we can repass in 3 or 4 laps time and just repeat the cycle over again while we recharge our battery and save a little bit of tires while we're behind him. Again, not much point at this point in the race to really take a lot of risk. 2 people have boxed at the end of lap 5, and behind us, Thomas Ronnehaar boxes as well.
Boxing as well already.
And that is starting to look like some people going for the 2-stop. The Kick Sauber that's already boxed, one of the Haas cars, and then Thomas as well going for the 2-stop. Perhaps he could go for 1-stop from here, but it will be very close, I think so.
Barry boxing.
Quite hard. And Barry boxing as well at the end of lap 7.
Okay.
And that could be a lap where, again, could be a 2-stop, could be a 1-stop. We're going to have to wait and see on how it pans out. But end of lap 9, and you can see Ismail Fassi boxing as well. That is most definitely a 1-stop. And yeah, we're continuing again for a lap, just so we can have fresher tires for the rest of this race. And you can see we went until the end of lap 12 before we boxed. So yeah, in we come at the end of lap 12. 13 laps on a set of the hards, which yeah will easily get us to the end. No 2-stop needed for us, and we can full push from here on until the end. Again, a lot of people still continuing. A lot of people.
Right, so coming out quite tight with Haas and last. He does not have DRS now.
And yeah, a lot of people that started on the hards as well. So that is interesting. They might be catching us once they move on to the mediums. We're just gonna have to wait and see how that all pans out. Out we come then, right ahead of the Haas of Joris Cruzen, and 1.8 seconds behind Julian Klaffenbach and Reese Linton, who are both on the 2-stop. But the fact they're only 2 seconds ahead shows that yeah, their race is pretty in the mud, because their tires are 7 laps older than ours.
The car had 8 laps.
And they're only 1.2 seconds ahead, and they still have to make another pit stop. So by the time they make their second pit stop, we're going to be 4, 5, 6 seconds ahead because of their tire disadvantage. So yeah, their race is looking quite grim from here on. We are, however, trying to get the DRS as soon as possible, so we can get past as soon as possible, and so we can hunt down the lead group that have actually caught up to the people who have not boxed. And that shows that 2-stop could be a thing. So yeah, quite interesting to see. But end of lap 13, you can see we're starting to really get onto the back of Julian Klaffenbach, who is on the 2-stop. Our teammate Freddie Rasmussen boxing from the mediums to the hards. You can see how much more grip we have. Yeah, it's like a different category into the last corner. Reese Linton boxes, I think, for the 2nd time already there. And now we're going to go for the move into turn 1. We're 5.2 seconds behind Nicolas Longuet. And yeah, we've been forced off the track there. And now we get a legal overtake from the game. And yeah, this is costing us so much time. We were only 5.2 seconds behind the people who boxed at the end of lap 7. I think Longuet boxed lap 7 together with Barry. So yeah, 5 seconds behind, and this is costing us so much time because we used a lot of battery there. We're gonna have to recharge again, then go for it. And yeah, that was rather unfortunate because this might hamper us a lot, but we just got to go for it again, you know. We once again are gonna go for it. We got a lot more grip. This time, Julian doesn't fight. I think he realized straight away he was wrong in turn 1 and decided, you know what, I'm not gonna fight this anymore. But yeah, with that whole fiasco, we've lost over 2.5 seconds. We lost 2.5 seconds, but we should have been gaining, obviously, because we are on much fresher tires. So we are going to be lost 3.5, 4 seconds. And yeah, that just makes
So
the
you
life
guys
a lot
are
harder.
catching people at pit 8 and 9.
Yep. Yeah, now we get past Otis into turn 1. But the gap is still 5.5 seconds after we've been on this tire for 2 laps. So surely they're not on one stop, right? Yeah, you can hear me say surely they're not on a one stop. And not everyone in that train is.
Not fully sure, I'll let you know.
But yeah, we obviously can now. If they are on a one stop, they're gonna have to save a lot. We don't. And that's gonna make us a lot faster, but then the tricky issue might become overtaking. Because we've lost
trying to make this again.
because we've lost so much time with that incident in turn 1.
Yeah, at this point, expect all the cars ahead to one stop.
This might run us into
They're
issues
7, 8, 9. Fast CP1 freshest tires.
with overtaking because we're catching later. Our tire advantage is not as much, and yeah, that just makes it more tricky. We're now behind Nicolas Longue. Thomas Ronard has box, so he's on a 2-stop, but both Ferraris in 1-2, and they're not going to make it easy. Again, we're in the same scenario as Spa. They're going to be working together to keep us behind. But the difference is now, because of the incident we had in turn 1, we've just caught up so much later, and it's going to be really, really hard to get a move done here. However, there's still 7 laps to go, so we got enough opportunity. It's just, do we still have the pace? Dirt year is going to be really tough because what the Ferrari is going to be doing here, and you can already see it through his S section, they're going to be slowing down in the high-speed stuff where you can't overtake. You can see I'm instantly washing out wide with understeer. I'm still staying back or behind, only 2/10, so really close. But then we're back to the core issue. There's just not more slipstream if you're 2/10 behind relatively to someone who's 6 or 7/10 behind someone. And that's what makes it so hard in a DRS frame to overtake, because there is no advantage to being close to someone. The dirty air to slipstream ratio is just off. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's gonna make it really hard, but we've got to try. All we've got to do is make one overtake. If we get one overtake, we win this race because we've got the tire advantage.
First 2-stopper back off the train now, P18.
And yeah, again, they're just deploying the battery in the final sector on the straights. We get close to the final corner, but yeah, first corner, sector 3, we're just struggling to follow because it's so high speed. And yeah, that's a crucial corner because it leads to a really long back straight. So I think if we want to make a move, we have to do it in turn 1. You can see again Barry really slowing down. I guess to preserve his tires as well, but at the same time it helps them keep this 1-2. Yeah, you can see how slow we're going. The fact I can follow this close with this much DRTR just shows. I think we could be going 6-7 faster, maybe even 8 in sector 1, but we're just stuck behind and we cannot do anything about it. So again, trying to find some clean air on my front end, trying to find some places where Barry doesn't expect it. But this guy has also been doing F1 Esports for 6 years. He's not stupid as well. So yeah, we need something. We need to force a mistake. We need to go for a late lunch if we want to make this work. Again, we're really closing up into the final sector, and this is the corner we struggle to follow. You can see we just can't get the front end in, but Barry couldn't either, and now We're 1.6 tenths behind. So close, so close. This is dive bomb distance, and Barry knows it. I decided, however, to recharge my battery a little bit and go for switch back onto the main straight. That's a good exit from us. Again, we're only 1.8 tenths behind into the main straight. Let's see if we can go for move. We're draining our battery once again. We can't really do anything trying to go for late move, but again, we cannot find a way through. And we have to stick behind again. Again, we're going to recharge the battery, and again, we're going to try it on the next lap. And again, Barry is going to be driving really slow in this first sector. Yeah, there's just nothing you can do here in this first sector because it's too small to really do anything. It's too high speed. So we have to sit back once again, recharge our battery, and keep trying. Keep trying. And again, he's driving so slow through there because we are relatively closer to Ismail than the lap before. And I guess they have to save tires as well because they boxed so early. Again, nearly drove into the back of Barry there. So let's see. We can go for a move again. And this time perhaps into this fast left-hander. However, that's not a great overtaking opportunity. As we've seen in F1 Esports, decided not to. We slightly tapped Barry there actually. And now we are 1/10 behind. 1/10 is basically gearbox. We're basically in his gearbox. Issue is there's no slipstream. So once again, I have to save the battery for this long back straight. I have to go for a switchback. If I used my battery there, we would have not had enough ERS for this straight. Again, DRS open. Again, we're within 1/10. Barry is flashing, and now we go around the outside into the next left-hander. Barry breaks deep, and perhaps we can go around the outside here. Unfortunately, we cannot get the power down in time, and we have to sit back once again, recharge our battery, and perhaps try again. But the issue is that Otis behind us has not attacked us once. We've been attacking non-stop, so our battery is pretty drained. And yeah, we're starting to get into trouble from Otis behind, and I knew, so I decided to have a little look here. I knew that I had to get the move done in the next 2-3 corners, otherwise Otis would get past.
Now he starts as well.
And yeah, I just couldn't get past once again. Trying to get a good run out of the next right and left-hander, but Barry doesn't, or barely has any dirty air from Ismail ahead. So let's see if he can get the move done after this straight. Again, we cannot follow as Barry runs wide there as well, and yeah, this sets us back even more. So yeah, at this point I knew that it would be very weird if Otis wouldn't get past us on the next straight. He'd send it down the inside, which was a bit unnecessary because we were going to lose the mover anyway. We had no battery left. And down to P4 we go. And I was kind of hoping that Otis would take advantage from this and straight away attack Barry, but he didn't really, which I felt like was a little bit weird. Because I think he definitely had the battery and the ERS to try it. And that, I think, would dismantle Ferrari a little bit and perhaps could invite us for a move as well. But yeah, Otis couldn't get past as well. Same issues. And I think that was the issue for the wall grid. I don't think there really was a single in-train overtake. Obviously Otis overtook us, but that was because we were desperate to get past Barry.
Unlucky. Nice game.
It was a 2-point risk to
Unlucky.
gain an extra 6, you know. So it was worth it, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So yeah, P4 it is. Ismail did get a penalty after the race for crossing pit entry line, so we move up to P3 after penalties, which means Barry wins Otis P2, ourselves in P3. And then obviously we got the points for the pole position, which is very lovely, something I'm not used to, but we'll take it. Hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.